For this one, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. First, addressing Sunday's video. For those that participated in that, thank you. It's appreciated. It's still ongoing if you want to check that out. But instead of talking about Jinx specifically for this one, because there's not honestly a lot to talk about with the champion or even the AD carry role. Instead, one of the things that's kind of been cropping up is talking about the game around Jinx. A little bit of the meta, but also things about like, why would you pick Jinx? Certain scenarios that you might be involved in as a Jinx, where you might either want to have played Jinx instead or how to get Jinx out of those situations. A common example of this is how people talk about team fights and how Jinx really only has flash to get out some really hard engages and stuff like that. So a solution some people come with, and they kind of like tell other people, is to try and let your teammates kind of bait out certain engagements onto them, champions that tend to have more tools than you do to evade stuff, and then re-engage with your damage afterwards. This doesn't mean sit back and let a whole fight go off in front of your face or anything like that. But if you think you're going to get dove by like the top laner and the mid laner and maybe even the support, if you show first to the enemy team, then perhaps, especially with vision and stuff, let someone else show first. Maybe let your support, who's also a tank, or your tank top laner, show first. And if they want to engage on them, then you can free fire from behind them, from some safety and some stuff like that. Or if you're going up against certain assassins and they're just going to get at you no matter what, making sure that you're always clumped with your team. If a Zed comes out of his ultimate in the middle of the enemy team, he might get CC'd if your teammates are competent before he's able to complete a full combo. Unless he's super fed late game and he's really just pressing R, in which case, sorry, unfortunately, that's what Zed gets to do. He got fed. That was the key word there. The same way if a Jinx got fed with like 6 items, she should probably just two-shot you with crits and call it good. That's the whole reason you want to get fed and get items after all, and get gold is to get items and be able to get to that point of the game. So things like that are what we're going to be talking about for this video. Another one is like, why would you pick a Jinx? Do you pick Jinx because you see a lot of tanks, for example, on the enemy team? And maybe not mixed tanks either, because I feel like maybe that's still Kog'Maw's niche. Or if you do you do it and you do like a mixed damage kind of Jinx build? But furthermore, if you like, say, the top laner, the mid laner, well, maybe not the mid laner. Maybe the mid laner is more of like a beefier mage, or like a battle mage, I think is the word Riot used. The enemy jungler and the enemy support are all tanks. Do you pick Jinx because she can kill tanks? Or is that a scenario where like, actually that's one too many tanks, I'd rather a Vayne or something like that for true damage, right? Is Jinx the right amount of Jinx, like 2 tanks as an example? And also, your composition probably matters too. Do you actually want a lot of tanks for a front line to make it harder for the enemy team to get to you? Or are you someone that actually wants more damage in other roles, so that way the enemy maybe doesn't focus you on Jinx, right? If your top laner is also like a fed Vladimir, and your mid laner is also like a fed Ryze or Victor or something like that, you actually like those kind of compositions to play with as Jinx, because then even if you die, right, like someone else probably might be fed and have damage to be able to carry, or again, someone else is getting focused besides you on Jinx, because Jinx at present, she maybe could use some love and some buffs or something like that, but at the same time, it also just could be the role right now. There's a lot of discussion around the fact that when Riot's kind of trying to change things about the bottom lane, so long the game has been balanced around having an AD carry or DPS in the game, that's actually the underlying problem for all AD carries, and maybe all AD carries would have to get reworked slightly somewhat to be able to fix that, or crit would have to be reworked to some capacity, which is kind of a larger and different conversation than this video. This video is more Jinx centric about, you know, why would you pick Jinx? What do you do in certain scenarios as a Jinx? Why would you maybe not pick Jinx even if you love playing Jinx? Would it be, again, one too many tanks, or is it more of an assassin thing? Because like some people will vary because they actually like an assassin meta with Jinx. For one, people aren't going to be playing Jinx, so you don't have to contest anybody for Jinx. But for two, usually you probably have a lot of assassins on your team as well. So even if things are going kind of poorly for you against like a Rengar, you have like a Zed or a Talon or something like that, or, you know, Kiana, things like that on your team maybe that can even it out at least while you're on the gray screen shot calling for the rest of your team for most of the game. But that's going to be all for this video. That's going to be the topic of this video. Once again, for those that participated in the Sunday video, appreciate it. Thank you. But that's it for this video and this topic, which is just kind of the meta, but like the Jinx meta specifically. So, I don't know which video will be next, because I haven't have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.